And what you're saying about LeBron James, it's like, what is it, $1 million a year, did you say, on nutrition?
$1 million a year on just his nutrition, yeah. They revere him, and he's revered across all sports.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's one of those figures that is literally, he's a household name. Doesn't matter whether you watch basketball or not, he is a household name.
I think he's become a household name. He wasn't before. I think if you were a basketball fan, you knew who he was. I think now... You kind of knew, because everyone knows Michael Jordan first. They may know Kobe. May do. But I think James LeBron has crossed over more recently, and that's because he's one of the last supreme athletes out there. In my
that's what it takes to leave a legacy, to be like remembered, like almost alone as a lone figure. Or not a lone figure, but in those select few, like across all sports. And I feel like I've made a list of sports people who I think have transcended their sport, and I feel like there are, like I said, the primary thing is to be an ultimate winner, but I feel like there are two others. Well, there's one other category that I think can like make you even more elite, and that's capturing the public's imagination in some way. Being an entertainer and being someone that they just want more of. People just can't get enough of. And almost to take it back to Usain Bolt as well, like he was the ultimate entertainer when he was on the track, right? He was doing things like right before a race that no one had ever seen before, and I feel like I've got, like, in my list, I've got Muhammad Ali and Tyson Fury as well, obviously both from the boxing world. They just had that something extra that it just captivates you. And I feel like with Muhammad Ali, obviously, like, he was the greatest in the ring, but the way he would speak was just like purely captivating, funny, thought-provoking. He had a clear message about what he was doing. He was so much more than the athlete in the ring. And I feel like that just takes you to another level in terms of what we're talking about in terms of transcending your sport. And like Tyson Fury in a very different way has captured the public's imagination with the mental health struggles and
the comeback.
The comeback, the weight loss, everything that he's been through in his career outside of the ring. That's what people want. They want a story almost.
Yeah, I think with Tyson Fury, it's that thing of you can do something ordinary becomes extraordinary. So being able to lose weight because you become dedicated to losing weight, being able to regain your mental health because you put the steps in to do it. And I think that's part of his story. It's like you can recover by taking these smaller steps to create bigger ones. Because there's no doubt in Tyson Fury's ability. I think by far he's the best boxing heavyweight out there. By far.
Yeah. I would say so.
He's the best boxing heavyweight by far.
He knows the sport of boxing better than anyone.
Yeah.
Technically,
because he's gonna come against someone.
How dare you talk against my Nigerian brother?
Your Nigerian brother.
How dare you?
You're claiming him as Nigerian today.
I've always
He's going to be British. He's going to be British soon enough.
He's not British. He's definitely a Nigerian. What are you talking about? Guy is pounded yam and egusi. He is a Nigerian, 100%.
Do you know? I would love for AJ to beat Tyson, but I just look at Tyson's boxing ability, boxing IQ is
that's what I mean.
Higher.
Like, he knows every inch of that ring. Like, he's second to none, I would say. And that the Fury Joshua fight is something that I'm absolutely dreading because I love them both. And I wouldn't want to see any of them lose it, but I would love to see Tyson Fury win it because I just feel like he is the best, man. He is just a cut above. And like, Joshua's got maybe the power on his side. Like you were saying, Carl, the boxing IQ is invaluable. And that's going to be one hell of a fight.
Can't wait. I cannot wait to make you eat your words. Both of you.
I will quite happily eat my words on that day. I would love for my words to be eaten.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just make it sure. Can I make you eat a shoe as well? Like a leather slipper. Will you eat it if you?
No, because culturally that's so disrespectful. Not to.
But what about a little bit of Nigerian seasoning?
Exactly. I'll put some nice soya sauce on it for you. Don't worry. But look, I can't wait for that. But you know what? Like I said, going back historically, I do want to mention. I think I've messaged it to you guys the other day, and I do want to mention this. Like, there are not that many athletes out there that have actually been able to kind of transverse from one sport to the other. But there is one that, like. As you guys know, I grew up in the States. So I grew up in the US in the early 90s, very, very early 90s. Around about that time, late 80s, early 90s. I'm not going to say how old I was, so don't go there. Anyway, so there was an athlete I mentioned, Bo Jackson. I don't know if you ever Google him.
Yeah, I remember the Nike ads.
There you go. Bo knows this, Bo knows that, Bo knows Jack. But yeah,
a Tribe Called Quest record. Yeah.
Like, look, there was things, but he's the only ever to be named an all-star in both baseball and American football.
Yeah,
very big sports. Go on.
That's before my time. I don't mind people knowing how young I am. That's perfectly fine by me.
You're the resident millennial, aren't you?
Exactly.
I hate that label so much. I really hate that label. But yeah, I suppose technically I am. But I do feel like sport has changed a lot though. So like, I'm not taking anything away from that achievement. That is an insane achievement to be an all-star in two different sports at the top.
Major leagues. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like it couldn't be done today. I
have agreed with you. I think I agree with you.
Yeah, I feel like there could be better. So wait, he started off in American football, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a running back at college football, and then he won the Heisman Trophy, and he moved to the LA Raiders, and then he moved to Major League Baseball to play for the White Sox and the Angels, and So he did.
Wow. Yeah. But I feel like there could potentially be a better footballer than him that wouldn't be able to make the transition today into another sport, baseball, for example, just because the level of science, the level of precision, everything that goes into making you an elite sports person, it's so finely tuned. I believe.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go on.
Does transitioning from boxing into WWE count?
No. You know what? I was gonna say.
Wasn't that Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather, they've all done it.
Really not. I was actually going to highlight Brock Lesnar from going from WWE to MMA.
There you go. That's another.
But obviously, I mean, as a kid, I was all about WWF, and like it was a real sport. They really beat each other up. It was what you saw. But obviously,
it was then. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are you saying boxing is not boxing? Are you saying wrestling is not real?
I mean, like I said, these are the things that they are sports that you become bigger than, and because your brand as a person becomes bigger than that sport. And there are lots of people like your David Beckhams, your Cristiano Ronaldos, they transcend other things and you become bigger than the sport that you're in. And then there are people who become bigger than the sport because they actually will try to do other things. I mean, like with your, what's his name? Usain Bolt. Yes, he's tried it. He's known for being somebody that wants to try. I think Mo Farah actually wants to play football as well, doesn't he?
I mean, I know he's a big Arsenal fan, but I don't know if he has desires to play it.
Come on, Mo Farah, he's a middle distance athlete, right?
Yeah,
he's got no flesh on him. You just knock him off the ball. Done. He ain't going anywhere playing football. He may be quick, but you've got no body weight.
Please refer to him as Sir Mo and have some respect, sir. Isn't he an OBE or MBE or something like that? No, it's me.
You don't even know yourself.
He's got a knighthood, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. He's a sir.
Yeah.
He's
Okay, Sir
Mo
Mo has no body fat on the football pitch.
That's treason, Carl. You're not allowed to.
Exactly. You know, you could be taken to jail and do 17 years right now for saying such things.
Go and play football with Sir Mo Farah. Put one on him.
Put one on him.
Give him a straightener.
I'm sure I'll be able to knock him off the ball.
See how long he lasts on that.
But, Ken, with regards to what you were saying about becoming bigger than the sport, I feel like, I mean, I said we were going to mention Conor McGregor at some point.
Okay, of course.
I feel like he has transcended UFC, but in a very different way. So, like, my definition of transcending your sport, as I said, was like being known to people who have never had an interest in that sport. And I don't really watch UFC, I'll be honest, and I know who Conor McGregor is, and I feel like it's for all of the wrong reasons. Yeah. And I kind of hinted this in the group chat the other day, didn't I? Like, he's been allowed to get away with so much, like in the cage and out of the cage. He's always controversial, and all right, you might say he's got a bit of a mouth on him, and that's why people always want to see a bit more. But he's never been restrained in any way. It's almost like he's living in GTA. Like, he can just do whatever he wants and he'll get a slap on the wrist, whether it's from like the UFC bosses or from the law enforcement. Like, they all kind of understand that he is a moneymaker and he is their ticket.
Yeah.
And that almost enables him to do the next controversial thing and then the next one, and that builds his own brand, and that builds money for him and for everyone around him. And in that way, he's become bigger than the sport itself. Obviously, as I said as well, winning is the overarching thing. You can't transcend your sport without being one of the greatest within it. Yeah. But sometimes it takes other aspects, whether it be capturing the public's imagination or creating controversy. You have to do something to get people's attention. And I feel like that's the kind of route that he's gone down. But Carl, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on Conor McGregor? Because I know that you've got a bit of love for him at the moment.
I've fallen for Mr. Conor McGregor, from somebody who I regard as fleecing me of money. So when he fought, was it 2017? He fought Floyd money making Mayweather in a boxing match.
I mean, what do we really expect from that? Let's be honest.
Look, it was so talked up, so hyped. I fell for it. Yeah, I fell for it. Because I was watching. So I wasn't the biggest Floyd Mayweather fan until the Manny. I knew he was good. Watched boxing, knew he was good. But when I saw the when he beat Manny Pacquiao, who in terms of like giving you value for your boxing money if you did pay-per-view, Mr. Pacquiao always delivered that. Yeah. But the way Mr. Floyd Mayweather controlled Manny Pacquiao in the ring, nullified all his weapons, I thought, you have actually mastered this. You are the master of this sport.
Yeah, he definitely is. His shoulder roll is by far the best defense we've ever seen.
In his generation, he is the best boxer I have seen in his generation of boxers.
Yes,
without doubt. So I thought you've mastered. You could actually write the whole manual on how to box in the defensive style, how to hit and not get hit, because you're always going to win because people can't hit you. It's like trying to hit a ghost. Or if they do hit you, they're not going to hit you hard enough because his footwork, his positioning is so good that your offense becomes a weakness to you.
Yes, exactly that. So, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
From that time I was like, I had utmost respect for Floyd Mayweather. And then when you see this mouthy Irish guy from UFC was saying, I'm going to come and beat you, I was like, what? But they talked it up so well, I thought, I want to see this. And other people from UFC were convincing me that McGregor was the man and he'll be able to hit Mayweather and clock him. And I was like, I want to see this. Yeah. But when I watched it, I was like, McGregor, you aren't even in this league, and this guy has you sussed. He's going to toy with you. And when he did win, I was like, both of you both knew what you were doing. You can both talk the talk.
Absolutely.
And you were doing that thing of like,